All right, so yesterday we were working with the 3 pairs of complementary colors, creating something called intensity scales. So in your sketchbook paper, you should have these 3 rows of 9, and you have completed one intensity scale for each of the 3 pairs of colors. So that first pair was yellow and purple, remembering that you had to make your own purple. You could use either yellow, and that you needed to make purple using the cool blue and the cool red. The next pair of colors was the red and the green. And remember, we were using the pinky red or the cool red as our red and going ahead and using the green that's in our palette, which is down here by the black. Then we were doing a orange and blue combination. You could use either of the blues in your palette, and we were calling this the warm red, the orange for today. Do not use this as orange. This is definitely yellow, and if you use this when you mix these colors, if you have a bunch of greens, you know that you have chosen yellow instead of orange, okay? So that's something to be aware of. And if that happens to you, that's no problem. Just go ahead and redo that. So this is your first job today, is to finish these intensity scales. Take a picture and upload it to the assignment from yesterday in Google Classroom. Next, what you're gonna do is take the foamy board that came in your supply kit. So you can see here I have this board, and I have another sheet of my sketchbook paper because this sheet is full, right? I have done all of the other planning activities on that sheet and it's full. And what we're gonna do is tape this into 4 small spaces. So you can see I've taped on the end. I'm gonna tape right here on the fold. I'm gonna tape, I like to tape all the way around just because I really like the effect of having a little white border that goes all the way around. But what we're gonna do today in these little spots is paint some abstracts. So if we think about abstract painting has no subject. It's not a painting of a cat or a cactus. It is a painting that uses color and line and shapes to create the image. So once I have my 4 squares taped off, 1, 2, 3, 4, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to pick one of these 3 color combinations. So they're the combinations of colors from yesterday, right? So the same colors as yesterday, and I'm going to make some abstract paintings. Now, abstract paintings, like I said, are about line and shape and color, and they're also about playing and experimenting with your paint. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my paint here. I am going to, I think, use yellow and purple today. So just gonna go ahead and play around a bit. And there is no right or wrong way to do these. You have to make those answers for yourself. So I'm gonna start just by painting one of these kind of softly yellow. And maybe, so I'm gonna like paint a little bit from one to the next, just because that's kind of like the way that I like to do it. However it works for you is fine. And I'm gonna experiment, right? This is still a little wet. So I'm going to kind of play with what happens if I put some purple on here now while it's still wet, kind of not dry. The other important thing to remember when we're doing this is it's not about using just the yellow and the purple, but it's also about combining the yellow and the purple and using some of these colors that happen, some of those less intense colors that happen between yellow and purple, okay? So it shouldn't just be about using yellow and using purple. It should be about using the other colors that happen when we mix the two colors that you choose together as well. So you can see these are both pretty wet. I'm gonna go ahead and leave them and kind of play around with another one. So these are definitely just about, like I said, about playing, about experimenting with the kinds of lines and shapes that you can make. They happen with layering, so they will sort of take a little while to do, just because you can see both of those first couple that I did are still very wet. And right now I'm just sort of exploring the kinds of marks that I can make with my paintbrush to fill the paper. And like I said before, it's all about playing. So I'm gonna keep working on these until I feel like they're done, until I feel like I'm happy with them. And like I said, really the big thing to remember is they shouldn't just be the two colors. So like when I look at these, they shouldn't be yellow and purple. They should be the colors that happen in between the yellow and the purple as well. And so that is one thing you want to make sure is that you're using kind of all of the colors that the two color combinations make, and not just focusing on the ones that are pretty. We talked about that yesterday in class quite a bit, that we need the ugly colors to make our paintings work as well. All right, so that's what you can do. Make sure you do all four. I have a finished example here of what they look like when you're done with them. I haven't peeled off all the tape. So you can see that when you peel the tape off, you get these nice clean edges all the way around. This one doesn't quite feel finished to me yet, so I'm gonna work on it a little bit more, which is why I left the tape. But this is that different color combination of orange and blue. So go ahead, have fun, play around with the paint, and make a series of 4 little abstracts using a complementary color pair.